your way, not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mold.
They talked about me a lot. And then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery. I'll introduce my fifth speaker, and she'll be talking about public speaking. Very important. What every single speaker is doing here today, she is going to talk about it. Public speaking. What I am doing here today, what Amma came to do, what anyone is doing on this stage, public speaking, how important it is for you as a student and as someone who is going out into the world very soon. And the perfect person to talk about this. She is the Secretary General for UNESCO. She goes by the name Obaasima Summit. Please, let's welcome her.
It is just that I don't have a good voice. I'd have given you that tune for that TikTok that you go all the way down. Can someone help me? No. Give me that tune. They can do it. Yeah. I just need a tune. They know when to go down. You see, everyone knows it. The difficulty is the person to sing it. Maybe I should do 1, 2, 3. You are young. You've got knees. The count of 3, go down. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Beautiful. Clap for yourselves.
Nobody is going away with that there's something wrong with beauty. There's nothing wrong with beauty at all. Like I'm saying, be beautiful. But be beautiful your way. Not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mold.
They talked about me a lot. And then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery.
Hello, my name is Enim Amam-Millicent, a student of Ghana Institute of Journalism.
Oh, thank you. And the next speaker has been so kind. She offered a piece of cloth to the person who comes out. So clap for her. She gets a piece of cloth. And you don't have to go. Sit. I mean, we are doing this together. Take photos of her. This public speaking thing is not easy. My 15 minutes starts now. I have set my clock. I am a proud alumna of KNUST. Yeah. I think the Legon people were taking over the stage, so I just feel I have to say that. Although having said that, after 4 glorious years, 22 years ago, when Jifa started saying our mothers, I thought, who is she talking about? We mothers. Then I thought about it again and said, is there anyone here who is under 22? Hey, the thing is not in my favor. I am old, even if I don't want to acknowledge it. But I'm a student of Legon now, if it accounts for anything. So, yes, both. I am very happy to be here. Yesterday, I attended a forum, a conference, and we had to pay in dollars for it. And the quality of presentations here that I'm getting for free, I was thinking maybe I should go for my money back. Clap for the speakers. Nothing radiates like intelligence. Now, they are beautiful women, but that's not the reason why you like them so much. It is what they said. It is what they have done with their lives. And that is most important. So if you're here, if you're a gentleman who's come to support the ladies, or if you're a lady, you are looking up to them, not because of their fine clothes and faces, but because of what they have achieved. I'm told to speak about public speaking in 15 minutes. 15. And so I have titled it a crash course, and now I have 13 minutes. A simple way to do this would be what they did. Yeah? You have 4 speakers. So what is public speaking? What they did. Did you watch them? Yes. If you did, you'd find that a lot of the things I am about to talk about, you found in them. But maybe it wasn't so obvious because when you finally stand on a stage, it doesn't matter what stage, to speak to a lot of people, it is an amalgamation of years of practice. Practice that started probably from primary school. But I realize now that there are people, like the young lady over there, who may have gone through secondary school, may have even gone through university, and still have not had the opportunity to address a group. I think in secondary schools, our assemblies are now being led by teachers alone. When I was in school, every sixth former had the chance, and you prepared for it, that 5 minutes, because that guy was in the school, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. And you stood and you spoke. Please, take these opportunities to speak. Let me start by telling you what public speaking is. You know, it is when you stand in front of people to speak. It's not always when you're standing in front of a formalized audience like this. It might be in a group setting. You've just started university, and your teacher says, today is going to be group work. And once you finish the group work, you are going to have to come and present it. The first instance of public speaking is within that group, isn't it? And yes, beautiful things have been said about teamwork. But public speaking is tailored to that audience at that time. So if it is a group of 5 people, so long as it's not your intimate group of friends, it is some form of public speaking. It doesn't always involve giving speeches either. You're speaking in public. It is an important skill. What I've put here is that today, over 70%, and I think that is a conservative estimate, over 70% of jobs require some form of public speaking. I don't know what you want to be in future, but I can bet you there is some public speaking involved in it. Even if you're going to be in your office, quietly minding your own business, at some point, people will have to come and speak to you. And so this is not for the politician alone. It is not for the person who wants to stand on huge stages and speak to people. It's for you. It's for everyone. You must get yourself prepared. Entire careers have been lost because people have said the wrong things. when they thrust the microphone into their hands at a crucial moment, they have said something. And then the very next day, you see them, especially abroad, to say, I have come to resign. I'm sorry for what I said. I realized it wasn't in good taste, etc. And so it doesn't matter how many years you have been working. One misspeaking and you are out. And so public speaking, people call it an art. Because of the finesse that you need around it. You need to see it as something beautiful to be molded. However you see it, you need to learn public speaking. A public speaker, a good one, has mastered the art of persuasion, and it is good for other things. So when you stand in front of people, you have about 3 purposes. You are trying to inform them of something. You're trying to persuade them to do something. Or you're trying to entertain, like Ofe just did, isn't it? All of that is some kind of public speaking. That is why some people can tank. They have a good voice. They come and stand here, but it's just, when they finish, no one is clapping. But you all woke up when he came, didn't you? And so all of this, whatever your purpose is, when you stand in front of an audience, you must realize that you must achieve that aim. And persuasion, that art of persuading people, once you catch it, you don't only use it in audience situations. You can use it to get your way at work. You can use it to get your way at home. And so the art of persuasion is a very key component of public speaking. My next slide says the anxiety is normal. My job requires me to sit in a group of 193 countries and represent Ghana. And you get the microphone and you have to say what Ghana thinks. And people start speaking and you're like, wow. And they start in Dutch and then they go to French and then they finish in English. And it is well written, well articulated. And then you're like, hey, it's coming to me. They started at B. That was Belgium. It's coming to me. The anxiety is normal. The ladies here will tell you, it doesn't matter how many times you have spoken in front of an audience, just before it gets to your turn, there's a little bit of nausea, a little bit of shaking. In fact, glossophobia is the name of a medical term, a medical condition, where people are so scared of speaking in public, they actually can throw up. Suddenly you want to go to the loo. Has it happened to any public speakers here? All of a sudden. And then it looks as if everything that you have learned is going to go away. You have prepared. You know you have prepared. You have played the scene over and over in your head. And it's going to go great. They'll call you, you will sashay to the front, and then you deliver it and everyone will clap. So why is it that 5 minutes before time? I don't know why, but I'm here to tell you it happens to more people than not. I have spoken to so many people and everyone will tell you that they become anxious before speaking. And so if you are anxious before speaking, it is normal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? I need some reaction. I forgot to also say that my background is in education. I'm a teacher. I need some reaction, otherwise. It is very normal, and I have added that the more formal the occasion, the scarier it is. So let's say this can be, sometimes this is a lecture hall, isn't it? And your lecturer can easily call you to come and say something, and it is okay. But the moment they put a signboard outside, there is a big poster, and your name and your photo is on it. Like, the next point I wanted to make is that the first minute is the scariest. If you can kill that first minute, then the thing becomes smooth sailing. If you make a mistake that first minute, you have unraveled your entire thing. So go in ready to punch. Go in ready to punch. Decide how you're going to begin your speech. Decide. Don't leave it to chance. Don't just say, I'll just go with the flow. So what if the flow doesn't work? Sometimes you have off days, don't you? So don't go with the flow. You have to be very seasoned. Decades of public speaking before you can just get up and go with the flow. I will never give a speech without an aid, even if I'm not going to use it. I'll always prepare something. Because you never know. Sometimes you just blank out. as I was saying, what was I saying? So you must have it. I have written on my next slide that content is king. Content is king. I think you need to repeat that after me. Content is king. It is all about what you have to say. Do you know what makes you fear to speak in public? What you have to say. You're not sure of your content, or you're about to lie. And you must really concentrate. What did I say I was even going to say? I was going to say, I've never seen that girl in my life before. I'm even surprised she says so and so. And then when you go, they tweak the question a different way and you are in trouble. But the person who is a good speaker prepares. I have been asked to speak about public speaking. I have seen the list of women I'm speaking with. They are fantastic public speakers. Amma Pratt, who gave me the opportunity, thank you, Amma. We have been on stages before. She's fantastic. If I get there like, yeah, this is what you have to do, oh, I'm an girl who go far away. Do you get what I mean, ladies? You must prepare. Make sure that you know what you are going to say. You understand what you are going to say. Please do not go and download a slide from off the internet to use, especially when you haven't tried the words and you haven't read over it. Make sure that you go in very prepared. Once you go in very prepared, half of your work is done. Confidence comes from having mastery over your subject. You know the thing. And so if I'm asked to come and speak on diseases of the heart, I'm likely to say no. I don't know anything about diseases of the heart. I'm sorry, wrong person. I'm not going to say, oh, since it's an opportunity to get on stage, I will read it and come and deliver. Because one little mistake and then I'm giving up offing. So please make sure that whenever the opportunity comes for you to speak, you make sure your content, what you have to say, is solid. Let people check for you if you are not sure. Check that your facts are right before you stand on stage. And now I want to present you with a toolkit for public speaking. A toolkit for public speaking. Think of it as something you put in your bag. And once you have this, it tells me I have 3 minutes more. You ask the purpose of the speech. I don't know if you can see very well. And then you select the topic. And then you analyze your audience. What is the purpose of the speech? Oh, it's Obaasima Summit. We are going to speak to young women and men to motivate them. Okay, what is my topic? Oh, it's going to be public speaking. Who will be my audience? They will be between 18 and maybe 27. There will be young people, there will be sharp young women and men. They will come with an expectancy, isn't it? They've got notebooks. Where are your notebooks? They've got notebooks. Whatever you say, they will write it down. This is not the time for you to play. This is called the Public Speaking Foundations. Who am I speaking to? What do you want me to speak about? Why do you want me to say it? Because depending on the 3 answers to these 3 questions, your speech could go in various directions. And it is important that you always ask these 3 questions. Then you have to prepare your speech. Research, organize, and get support. Research, organize, support. Research, make sure that the information that you need, you have. How am I going to deliver the speech? Where will my punchlines be? Where will my jokes be? At which point am I going to give a quote? When will I give an example? It must be very clear in your head how you're going to deliver the speech. I've already told you that confidence comes with mastery of the subject. You must prepare, and once you are well prepared, the journey is half done. Then you have speech practice. Audrey just told you that before an interview, get somebody to prepare with. It's the same for speaking in front of an audience. Let your roommates gather, and then give the speech, and let them tell you what made, that's last end. I didn't like it. Okay, hold on. How about if I say it like this? That way you would have played it over, not only in your head, but actually in practice, so that when you stand in front of people, it's easy. It's not like the first time. You are just doing something you have done before. And that is my alarm. Next slide. How to be a better public speaker. 6 tips. I won't even say anything about it apart from mentioning them. You must open with a bang. When I teach students about public speaking, I tell them, open with a rhetorical question. Open with a very good example, a story. Ajua was a 14-year-old girl. Ajua had a bright future ahead of her until one day a young man raped Ajua. And now Ajua's future has been destroyed. Ladies and gentlemen, I've come to talk to you about molestation. Your story has ensured that people are going to listen to you, isn't it? Then eye contact. There is a lady here I keep looking at. I don't know whether you have realized. When you get into a room and you're going to deliver a speech, choose people to look at. If it's your first few times, actually plant people. Because if you're looking into the skies, you sound insincere. It's as if what you're saying may not be true. But if you can look at someone's face and you deliver, the person will keep nodding and smiling. It's like, okay, that person got it. And you go to this next person, you say something, she smiles, look at her, thank you. She's smiling, full of encouragement. I have spoken about structure. Then there is what you call the commander's intent. At secondary school, you call the topic sentence. If you're going to say something, say what it is you're going to say. Don't talk and talk and talk and talk and at the end, reveal what your point is. That is what the army commanders do. It's called commander's intent. Content is king. That is what I intend to speak to you about. I have told you. So everything that I say will develop that point that content is king. I'm not going to finish developing the point and then say to you, so you see, content is king. No, don't do that. Voice. I'm not your typical public speaker because I don't sound like you'd expect a female to sound, isn't it? Oh, but I found that was an advantage. Every time I stood to speak, people look up and say, okay. But a good public speaker learns to use their voice. When you want people to be listening to you quietly, you go very sober. When you want to show anger, you raise your voice. How? We can't allow this to continue. It's like, okay. There are octaves in our voice and you must pitch at the right side depending on what you want to say. Please do not do monotone. After a while, it doesn't matter how good your content is, you will lose the people. And body. How many have noted that I'm left-handed? When I started speaking, a lady once called me and said, I admire you, you speak very well, but you're left. You see, this is Ghana. You can't be pointing at people with your left like that. It's disrespectful. I was a bit upset, but I thought, okay, I think she means well. And so even though I am severely southpaw, even when I walk, you should be able to tell. Now I'm going to have to try very hard to hold the microphone, because if you leave the microphone, I will do this. And I'm going to have to try not to just gesticulate too much. It's not a fight. Sometimes I want to make a point, and I may use my hands. Other times I may just want to stand still so that my point is made to you. About 80%, some say, of our speech is given with non-verbal cues. So it doesn't matter how well prepared you are. If you're saying the right things and your body language does not match what you're saying, you're going to lose your audience. So body language is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, I could go on and on, but Auntie Joyce, who I have come to listen to, is waiting. And so I'll leave it here. Hopefully, Obaasima 2030, some of you will be seated here, will be old women here, and you will tell us that you heard the speech. Thank you.
Another round of applause for her. She's really done well. I hope you guys are anticipating Obaasima 2030 and preparing yourselves, and you come here and talk about all the goodies you took from this conference, all the notes you took from here and how it has impacted on your lives and made you the woman that you are. we hope that God makes us live to see that day. We thank Auntie Amasewa for that wonderful lecture, should I say, because she has a teaching background, so it was a lecture. That wonderful lecture on public speaking, it's very important. I took a few keys. You know, sometimes we all speak, but we have a lot to learn. We always learn one thing or the other every time we go somewhere. We would continue. We have 2 more speakers. And yes, Auntie Joyce will be speaking, but she'll be speaking last. So let me just tell you that, so that you prepare you leave space in your notepad for her. Then there's an exciting part 2. We are getting close to the ATL thing, you see. And so we have a speaker from ATL, but before she does that, I would want a representative from ATL, hopefully Judith Edubia, to come and give us a very brief insight of what ATL is about. And then after that, I'll come and introduce our rep from ATL, so she will speak to us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so the name is Judith Edubia Edumante. I wanted to add the surname. Okay, so I'm here with ATL and would like to say a big thank you to the organizers for bringing us on board to partner this wonderful program. Thank you so much. So for the excitement part, it's just to give you the opportunity to take something home. But before then, it's just to also let you know what ATL does. ATL is a textile manufacturing company, and it's been around for a while now. I think before most of us were born, myself and with the exception of maybe some of our honorable members up here. So ATL was set up in 1967, and our tagline is, yes, 1967, a very long time ago. So we say that we bring fabrics to life. Why do we say we bring fabrics to life? Because we give the opportunity for everyone to use our fabrics for all occasions, for weddings, parties, funerals, name them. ATL, we say we bring fabrics to life when you're using it. And then we also have the opportunities to produce for companies, for schools, for churches, for the corporate world. So for some of the halls on campus, I'm sure you know that you have cloth, and some of you is made by us. Us, I mean ATL. So you can come in and then you put in the request and then you have it beautifully done for you. ATL can be bought online, yes. So when you go to atlfabrics.com, please note it, atlfabrics.com. That is the only place you can buy fabrics online with ATL. You cannot buy any elsewhere, so that you be aware of first this. On Instagram and on Facebook, we can be found at ATL Fabrics. So when you are shopping, you add the .com to it. But if you're not buying online and you're on Instagram, then it's ATL Fabrics. But you can also call our lines. We have a retail shop where at our office in Accra, we are opposite the old Kingsway building. That's the 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, very close to Cocoa Board. Or you can call our number 0244 334406, 0244 334406, and you can place an order. So you can call whatever you need, it will be brought to you beautifully parceled or in a nice hamper, depending on what you want, and then it will be delivered to you, but then you pay a little fee for the delivery. And then you can also call this number 0244 328661, 0244 328661. So ATL will bring fabrics to life. We want to give you the opportunity to get something to take home, but we'll put it in two forms. There are guys here who have come to support, even though the program says Obaasima, so we'll leave one slot for the gentlemen here. Then the ladies, you have the rest of the slot. So everything is going to be around the little bit that I have said so far, so I hope you're ready. Oh, that was not encouraging. I hope you are ready. Unless, of course, you don't want to get anything good to take home. I know how we all love our cloth, and I'm sure when you take something from ATL home, your mom would know that, yes, this is something good. Because our mothers, they know good things when they see it. Okay, so then let's start. So that will be after my honorable boss comes to give her speech. So I hope you'll be attentive and then we'll come back again. Thank you.
I think there are a few suggestions that we should probably just start. You see, people are so excited. And they think it's cocoa. So they are come to grab all the fabric we have here. That's fine. So our mother will join us, right? Yeah. So we want one gentleman who can come up as quickly as possible, because there are a lot of gentlemen here anyway, to come and pick a question. Don't be looking around though. If you stand up, just come here. If you decide to look around, by the time you get here, somebody would have been here. Oh, there is a gentleman in orange. Okay, so when you pick the question, I'll read it out to everyone. Pick a question and give it to me. Are you guys here? So the question is, where can you buy ATL fabrics online?
So you said you have an app where one can list. It's ATLfabrics.com.
Okay, so please don't go. Just wait for us here, and then we are back to the women. How many women are we taking? We are taking 2 ladies, so only two. And so one lady should come up, please. One lady only. One lady is here. Oh, another. No, we need only 2 ladies. Okay. So let's you came first. Kindly pick. Okay, all of you can pick and then we can read. What's your name? Mariam. Okay, so this is for Mariam. What is the slogan for ATL?
We bring fabrics to life.
People came prepared, I can see. So Mariam, I think that is correct. You can stand by the gentleman over there and I take the next one. Okay, so this one is for Sarah. What is the Instagram or Facebook page for ATL?
Fabrics. ATL Fabrics.
Instagram or Facebook page for ATL?
ATLfabric.com.
I think Miriam was given a second chance because the guy was given a second chance, and that is correct. So Miriam, kindly join the guy. Hey, that's Sarah, sorry. So this one is for Marijan. So do you know any of the ATL contact numbers? Honestly, it's not easy to memorize a telephone number, and if I call anybody, they would have, looked before coming. So you get to have the opportunity to pick another question. Oh, this is not from me. This is from the boss herself. She has decided to give her another chance. And I mean, if you were standing here, you'd have got another chance too. So this one is, what does ATL stand for?
African Textile Limited.
You are wrong. And so that's it. We wanted two people anyway. It's Akosombo Textiles Limited. Akosombo Textiles, but that makes the whole thing fun. I mean, everyone gets it correct. It's like you guys were too prepared. So it's good that we got one person who had it wrong, but unfortunately. So we'll make presentations to the winners and also our very honorable speakers, those who have spoken and those who are yet to speak. ATL has a beautiful package for all of them. And so we'll call our founder to help us, Amma, help us present some of the items to our speakers first, and then so for our first speaker, Madam Sylvia Owusu Ankuma, for joining us today. And to Honorable Joyce Bauer. She's here to speak, but obviously some of our speakers have left because of time, but theirs will be sent to them appropriately. They have representatives here who will pick it up for them or take it to them. And Madam Petra is there. So even though and I like her shirt. If you can see her shirt, it's branded well in the ATL fabrics too. And Charlie, ATL to the world, you know the sea. And then our wonderful, oh yes. We have a representative for Amasewa, the one who gave us the speech on public speaking. So hers is going to her. And then finally to our wonderful winners. Please come on stage so they can see your face.
Like a thief in the night, long job. And you know, say, all of my niggas, them ball. I think you go ever need that talk. I told you, Gina, get on now. Taking it a break, and then me, I know the rush. Baby, if you want me, catch a rebel, mommy,
our only boy, our fresh boy, the boy in orange. And then we have a rep from Guinness Ghana who is also taking it for. Oh, okay. Okay, so that was it. And if you keep coming to Obaasima Summit shows, if you can see the number of sponsors we have. I mean, very soon you'll be getting flight tickets to Rwanda, tickets to Tamale and Bakumasi, you know.
nobody is going away with that there's something wrong with beauty. There's nothing wrong with beauty at all. Like I'm saying, be beautiful, but be beautiful your way, not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mold.
They talked about me a lot. And then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery.
So that's what we plan to do. This time is just a teaser. We are very appreciative of our sponsors and our partners. This is what they are capable of doing. We are going to several other campuses, so several things are going to happen. You can join. I mean, if you know that you'll be at home, for instance, if you live in Kumasi and you'll be at home at the time we are coming to KNUST, you can definitely pass by and talk about KNUST. I had to add my voice to the KNUST alumni, looking at the fact that I needed somebody to be bold enough to come out before I could come out to say that I am a KNUST alumni. And, that is good news. So you guys are bullies, seriously. I'll just quickly introduce my next speaker, and she's been here on the stage already. Our beautiful Petra from ATL, and she's the head of sales. Let's be excited. She just gave us fabric. And she'll be talking about networking, a very, very important part of our lives. So please, let's be ready for her.
Thank you very much, Jifa. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, good afternoon. I think I have the easiest slots because I've just given you cloth. I mean, you're excited. All my jitters have run out of the window. I'm not scared anymore. I'm feeling hyped and pumped and energetic, isn't it? So this is a tactic as well. Do nice things before you give a speech. And then everybody likes you, isn't it? Okay. Amma, thank you very much for inviting me. So I'm here in two capacities. One, I'm Amma's friend, and then two, I'm team lead for Akosombo Textiles, and we're partners for this event. So thank you very much. This is a wonderful thing that you're doing. So on the 31st of May 2019 was the first time we had Obaasima, and on that day, I put something on Facebook, and the post was Joyce Bawa Mokhtari. That was the post, and I said, wow. If there's anybody here who is skilled at fishing out people's posts, you can go and fish out my post for 31st of May 2019. That was my comment, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, wow. And I made that post because that was my first time of seeing her face to face and listening to her voice. When Sarah was talking about voice, she also has that type of voice that when you hear her voice, you want to sit down and listen. And I couldn't help myself. I just posted Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, wow. And I had people come into my inbox and ask me, what did she do? What's going on? But I'm telling you this story because from that point to today, when Auntie JB walked in, she actually recognized me, and she spoke to me, and I felt like $1 million. Because in the 2 years since, so 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, since then, I have been very intentional of ensuring that the next time I meet Mrs. Joyce Bawa Muktari, she will remember me. So yes, I've been stalking you, Auntie JB. But this is my story because I want to talk to you about networking. Very often, we discount the power of our network and our social capital. A lot of the things you want to achieve and you want to be, you would achieve by people. Our second speaker talks about using the power of people to achieve your goals. But when we talk about networking and social capital, for some reason in Africa, we think about it from a very negative standpoint. So we say things like, who you know. You can't get a job if you don't know someone. And the only reason that person got that opportunity was because they knew someone. In other jurisdictions and in other cultures, there's very little derogation around the term. And I need that we begin to think about it more in positive terms rather than in negative terms. So today I'm going to talk to you about networking and why it's important and why you need to be intentional about what you do. And so the word network is going to be my framework. So NETWORK. So for each of those letters, there's something I want you to remember. Deal? I'm not giving you anything after. But you would really, really need this. And I say this as something I have practiced, okay? And something that has worked tremendously for me. I told you the funny story about Auntie Joyce and how I felt so cool and so nice that she even remembered my face and said hello, okay? But it goes much, much, much beyond that. So let's start with networking. The N. If you're thinking about building a network, think primarily, or the starting point should be new. N for new, new friends, new acquaintances, new interactions, new. And I say new because it sounds like a very simple thing, but for a lot of us in this room, we don't know how to make friends. And we don't want to make friends. We say things like, oh, I'm very shy. And in Ghana, we even add to it, I'm very humble. I don't like to talk. And some of us, when we're leaving home for school, our parents told us things like, hey, be very careful, oh. When you go, friends, don't go and make friends. Just be quiet. Remember where you're coming from. By all means, remember where you're coming from. But you need to make new relationships. In building your network, think about new. Think about how am I going to make new relationships. The university is a wonderful place, and I was here. UG, where are you? So I patched level 100, I was Nore. At the time, we did in, out, out, in. So level 100, you're supposed to pick, if you get a room, you get in. I picked no. I didn't get a room. So I was Nore for level 100. Level 200 too, there's no room for level 200 at the time. So I patched in Ekwafo Hall. So I love Ekwafo Hall people because they took me in. Level 200 and 300, that's why I pitched. And then 400, I went to my real hall, which was Legon Hall. But think about this. The university or even secondary school, anytime you have an opportunity where you're in the midst of people, that's an opportunity to make new friends. So we've been here, some of you have been here since 12, some of you have been here since 11. Do you know the person you're sitting beside? Do you? Lady Vera, do you know the person you're sitting beside? You've been sitting by him for 4 hours. Sir, please, you know her? No. Okay. When you attend an event, it's an opportunity to make new friends. And it doesn't have to be 10 people, it doesn't have to be 20 people, it doesn't have to be 50 people. It can be the one person that you're sitting beside. And you don't necessarily have to know everything about them. I know some of us, when we meet you the first time, we can pour all our life history on you and all our family problems. But the starting point is introduce yourself. And I am severely introverted. So when I tell you introduce yourself, I am talking from the perspective of someone who has struggled so much with that. But I've come to realize that the more you practice it, the better you become at it. So what I do at events is, anybody I sit beside, if you enter the room and you sit beside me, I will look at you and I will say hello. Hi, my name is Petra. What's your name? My name is Amma. Pleased to meet you. I will not continue talking about anything. That's just the starting point. But it softens, it begins a relationship. It softens the conversation. So we tend to attend a lot of events, but we leave without knowing anyone. And I spoke about introversion because if you're naturally introverted like me, you would struggle with, no, I don't want to mention my name. I don't want anybody to know me. When I was starting out in sales, and I've had for the last 15 years, most of the work I've done has been in commercial, in the commercial environment, so sales, business development, marketing. And at the beginning, I would walk into a room and I would literally want to run away. Literally, I would want to run away. I just don't want to be in the midst of all those people. And I know Amma will be wondering, is this all true? Because for as long as she's known me, I've always been a chatterbox. But that tells you that in spite of the public appearance of something, you might be rumbling, your stomach might be rumbling and churning, but you still have to try and do it. So introduce yourself, meet new people. That's the first thing you need to think about in networking. The Invest is a wonderful opportunity. It's a melting pot. I have friends now who live in different parts of the world, different parts of Ghana, people I met in the university, people I met in secondary school, even as far back as primary school. So be open. When someone sits by you in a lecture room, don't only always want to sit by your friends. You're booking seats for your friends. It's a good thing. But if you happen, you've been booking seats, eh? If you happen to sit, and I have a friend I've been friends with since I was in level 200 here in Legon, who I met by chance through another friend. You're amongst a group of chickens, you also be a chicken. If you're amongst eagles, you also be an eagle. So you look at your friends and say, none of you are doing anything. Nobody here is achieving anything. You're all chickens. I'm going to make a new group of friends. Please, your existing friendships are also important.
Nobody is going away with that there's something wrong with beauty. There's nothing wrong with beauty at all. Like I'm saying, be beautiful, but be beautiful your way, not in conforming or contorting or, to fit a certain mold.
They talked about me a lot. And then Monday I'm on radio and I'm doing it. Opportunity. Regardless of where you're coming from, things can change, right? And then you can get to where you probably haven't even prepared yourself to go.
So there's an unconscious bias against us as women from the beginning of time.
You would have been perhaps the best lab scientist, but because of your mindset of knowing that nurse equals woman, you immediately went to nursing, you immediately went to midwifery.
Many years ago, I went to secondary school with Amma Pratt. There is nothing in our interaction all those years ago that would have told me that Amma Pratt would be giving me this opportunity in 2022. If I was bad, wicked, vindictive, a snob at that time, maybe Amma would still say, I think Petra can do this, but I really don't want to deal with her. So your existing relationships are important. The people you have in your life now are very key in that social capital that we're trying to build. And when I say social capital, I mean currency. It's an exchange that you can use to do the things you want to do. So it's just like money, actually. So think about it like that. So the E is existing relationships. You start from there. Please don't discount them. T is trust. In building a network or being an effective person that builds networks, you need to be able to build trust. I think it was Baba who spoke about integrity. If you're a liar and a thief, everybody will remember you as a liar and a thief. I know people who I was in school with here in Legon who I am not surprised how they have turned out. Some of them speak, and I remember how they spoke when we were on campus. And some of them speak, and I'm not surprised that they have achieved the things they've achieved. One of such people is Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. He was my coursemate, and I remember very well, and I always tell this story when I have the opportunity. One of our lecturers at the time, Professor Bafuatha, someone made a comment in the lecture room that he got really upset about, and he said he was not coming to our class again. And so a group of our course-mates went to try and apologize and ask him to come, and so he agreed to come back. But the first day he came back to class, Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa got up in the class and gave what I still remember as a very, very honorable speech. He articulated so clearly why, as a class, we were sorry and why the incident will never reoccur. And I remember looking at him and I was saying, wow. All those years ago, his leadership showed forth. So we remember people, and that's the thing about human beings. Even if you reform, kakra woho. So now is the opportunity, when you are young and you have the opportunity to make mistakes, be careful about the mistakes you make. Don't say that, oh, we only live once. I will do what I have to do. I don't care. I have to do what makes me happy. Young people. And it's affecting my mental health. I'm emotionally worried right now. I mean, I just have to let it out. Please. You need to build a reputation of being somebody who is trustworthy. Even to the basic things of when you attend your group meetings. If your group decides we're meeting at 12, don't be the one who wakes up at 12 o'clock and now goes to have a bath, is dressing up, and when we are calling you, there's this funny tweet I saw that when a Ghanaian says that they are on their way, they just entered the bathroom. So please build trust. It's important because your values and who you are really are what is going to help you in this journey of building your reputation and building who you want to be. W is for work. Networking is intentional work. You don't sit back and think that you're going to be able to build social capital by just sitting in your room. I like my sleep a lot. Trust me, I know how to sleep. Recently, I was telling someone that we need to understand our children so we know what motivates them and what demotivates them. When I was in secondary school, siesta was never punishment for me, Amma. Because I know how to calm myself and sleep. So for people, some of my dorm mates who didn't like to sleep, it was like siesta was punishment. But me, Obaasima, siesta was never punishment. Because I knew how to lie down, breathe, relax, and fall asleep for 1 hour. And I still know how to do it. In fact, I think I should add it to my CV as one of the things I do well. But in spite of that, there are things that you need to give up to be able to build your network. There's so many other things that you could be doing right now, or I could be doing right now. And it would be very easy for me to tell, oh, I'm sorry, I can't come. I just had a baby 8 months ago. He really needs me to be around. I can't come. But if you don't work to support the people in your network will not grow, period. I traveled all the way to my hometown of Axim in 2020. And on one of the evenings, we had an event planned. I got to the car park. The bus wasn't ready. Nobody who was going for the trip was ready. I just told my big sister, I'm going to bed, as usual. And she reported me to one of my aunties. And I got a phone call. Where are you going tomorrow morning that you're going to sleep? Do you have any appointments? And the way they screamed at me, I just got out of my bed, boko, and attended the event. And after, I said to them, thank you so much for making me do this. Because the people who I needed to meet in that trip were in that event. It wasn't in the formal meetings, it wasn't in the sit-down events, it was in the informal evening dinner far away in Axim that I met the people I really needed to meet on that trip. So work at it. It might be inconvenient, you might have to spend time and money. When you attend people's events, for instance, I'm not saying that you should attend every funeral, every wedding, but it be intentional what you do. Sometimes we do things out of fear. Twist that over and do it out of love for the people in your network, out of love for the people that you know. Don't say things like, oh, they say if I don't go for the funeral, when I die, they also not come for mine. No. How about you say, I really want to be there because if she sees me, she'll be very happy that I made it. That's doing it in love. So work towards it. And you can build your network to the point that it actually becomes something that you write on your CV. One of the core competencies I have on my CV is this, and I'm going to read it out to you. Networking, ability to establish and grow strategic business relationships for mutual benefits. Has a growing business network across sectors in Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and the US. Please, if I'm looking for a job in your organization, and I come and tell you that I know people in Ghana, and I can solve problems for you because I know people in Ghana, won't I be able to tell you how much I want you to pay me? So know people. Don't just collect business cards at events and take nice pictures. Because that is what we like to do. And then when it's their birthday, we post a picture. Oh, I took a picture with Auntie JB. I took a picture with Amma Pratt. I took a picture with is it Millicent or Mercy? Millicent. That's not networking. Networking is who you know, but primarily who knows you. Because that's not the time I wanted to think about what will go wrong. But when I walked into the room and I saw all the people there, I was so overwhelmed with gratitude that I felt that there were so many reasons why they won't show up, but they still made it. And it made me take a step back. Because after that event, someone asked me, Petra, how did you get all these people here? Even Mr. Pratt, who when I even gave him the invitation, he said, I'm in book launch. But he came. And someone said to me, Petra, how did you get all these people here? And I said, I really don't know. But looking back, it's years of consistently investing in these relationships. And not necessarily thinking that I'm going to get something back. So if you call me and ask me to do something I can do, the first thing that comes to my mind isn't how much are you going to pay me, is can I support? I'm constantly answering questions. I'm constantly getting emails. Can I support? There was a young man who I met in the building I worked in many years ago who was a security man. When I met him that day, I said to him, are you old or just an old man in a young man's body? Because he looked really tiny and really young. Apparently, he had just finished secondary school. And he was waiting, he was trying to save money to go to university. I said to him, with your security man's job, I doubt that you're going to be able to save money in any 3 years or something to go back to school. My boyfriend at the time, my husband and now, we agreed that we're going to support this young man. A few months ago, don't put this on the news, but a few months ago, I was looking for a passport for my son, my baby. This young man is now so well placed in immigration that he could get us the passport printed in 1 day. There is nothing that would have told me all those years ago that this young man would be able to support us so much years after. So don't only think about what you can get, but think about what you can give. And when there's a biblical principle, but I also believe it's a natural law that says that what you sow is what you reap. But not what you might sow something, but not reap from the same place. You might reap in different ways. So give and give as much as you can. And then you ask yourself that as a young person, what do I have to give? You have O, which is originality. What makes you you is critical. I believe one of our speakers has spoken to it. You have to decide for yourself, Ama, Akosia, Kojo, me, this human being that I'm on this earth, what am I good at? How can I create an identity for myself that makes me stand out every time my name is mentioned? What about me makes me different? And be that original. The R is for relationships. Most of our speakers have mentioned this. You have to work on those relationships. But those relationships, I've already said, are not parasitic. I remember this from JSS or SS. There are relationships, different types of symbiotic relationships. There's parasitism, which means that one person is the host and the other is the parasite, like the relationship we have with mosquitoes. They bite us and they take our blood. What do they give us? Sickness. So what is the benefits? Except you want to skip school.
Nobody is going away with it.
Truly African.
St. Carol School of Nursing, in partnership with Importsi Traditional Council, calls on the general public to participate in our free health screening on the following: blood pressure monitoring, blood glucose monitoring, body mass index, malaria testing, HIV screening, and breast examination.